Waheguਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, Waheguਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. New information reveals that Yogi Bhajan's Akal Security is not only assisting ICE with the detention and deportation of immigrants, but Akal's subsidiary, this Coastal International Security Incorporated, and Akal Global, has armed personnel all around the perimeter of the White House in Washington, D.C., assisting the Trump administration in carrying out their inhumane policies. Every Sikh and Kundalini Yoga student should ask, how can the elected 10-member board of Yogi Bhajan disciples, supposedly promoting peace, oversee a 15,000 force of for-hire military using those mercenaries to assist the U.S. government and the Trump administration in detaining and deporting immigrants who only seek asylum from the violence of gangs in Central America? Akal Security subcontracts with CSI Aviation. Akal brags online how they assist CSI in the deportation of immigrants. I just saw in today's news how the Trump administration has instructed immigration agents to give immigrant parents two options. They can either leave the country with their kids or leave the country without them. And I'm quoting here from an NBC news article. It says here, new Trump administration order for separated parents. Leave U.S. with kids or without them. Rights advocates say the new directive prevents migrant parents who are separated from their kids under zero tolerance from asking for asylum in the U.S. And I'll put a link to this article in the description to this video. So, Akal, which is supposedly run by a peace-loving yoga group, is happy to carry out Trump's inhumane orders guarding illegal immigrants on government-chartered flights from Tucson, Arizona to Mexico City, working under the deportation contractor CSI Aviation Services of Albuquerque. Now, federal databases show that over the past 5 years, CSI has received more than $383 million in contracts with ICE's Detention, Compliance, and Removals Office for air chartered services. A 2014 Los Angeles Times story characterized CSI as the largest private contractor for ICE Air, with more than $560 million in related contracts since 2010. And this Akal Security works with them hand in glove to deport immigrants back to their countries of origin. Now, what you're looking at here is the campus where Akal Security is located. And I was there last summer. You can see also that this is the aerial view of the entire campus where Akal Security is located, the Sikh Dharma International, the 3HO, which is the Kundalini Yoga organization. They're all located here in the same location. In Espanola, New Mexico. So they're just a few 100 feet apart, actually. And they work together closely on all of these different events and these different practices. All the same people who run Akal are all part of the yoga organizations and the Sikh Dharma International organizations. I was there, by the way, like I said, last summer, and the place was all locked up, just as tight as a drum. I couldn't even get in to view our Sikh scriptures, which I wanted to do. You can see here there was a big gate there, and it's all locked up. You can see there are signs for the Sikh Dharma International there on that wall, and then SikhNet, which is the largest Sikh organization website in the whole world, actually. And this is a picture of some of the Yogi Bhajan followers having what they called a synergy meeting. So they get all of these groups together and meet together and discuss what their strategies and what they're going to be doing. So like I said, they all work together on this. And it's just shameful that their company, this Akal Security, it is run by this 10-member Yogi Bhajan board, is involved with assisting the Trump administration in this deportation and detention of these innocent immigrants to the United States. And I'm sure you all heard about how ICE was separating children from their parents. So Akal is working for this ICE. Now you can read here, I'll put in the description for this video, on Akal website, Akal's website, it says who we serve, and I'll put the links to that, and you can read that for yourself. Now there also appears to be, from the research I've been doing, a Department of Justice and FBI investigation into Akal, and thousands of violations with respect to Department of Labor standards. And I'll put a link to this PDF here that I've found that shows all of these different investigations into their practices. Now I also investigated reviews on this Glassdoor, people that have been working for Akal. And for pretty much they were all negative. People said terrible management, they were sexist, racist, and incompetent were some of the comments that were made about Akal. It's a 15,000 member or 15,000 employee they have there, and many of these comments were from managers and higher level people there within their organization as well. Now basically, Akal Security is a private prison and deportation profiteer. Akal is in the dark detention business of guarding immigrants and their children, acting as assistants to the U.S. government agency ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. For at least the past 15 years, Akal Security, which is owned and operated by a 10-member board of Yogi Bhajan followers, has been profiteering off the pain and suffering of immigrants and their families who are only looking for a better life in the U.S. This Bhajanist, I call them Bhajanists, because they're not really Sikhs, they're worshippers of Yogi Bhajan, so I call them Bhajanists. This Bhajanist 10-member board is the same board that controls all the other Yogi Bhajan orgs, like SikhNet, 3HO, Kundalini Research Institute, and Sikh Dharma International. All of these Yogi Bhajan organizations work hand in glove with Akal Security and receive millions of dollars in grants from Akal Security to support the Yogi Bhajan Tantric Yoga agenda. Now, the director of SikhNet, Gurmustik Singh, is so worried about this dark image Akal is creating for Akal's partner, SikhNet, which he is the director of there and founder, that yesterday Gurmustik gave an emotional comment, actually it was a few days ago now, on my YouTube video. It was about Akal Security assisting ICE. Gurmustik, in what it seems to me was like an emotional outburst, says this is totally false about my video. And Gurmustik goes on to protest that Akal no longer has a contract with ICE at the U.S.-Mexico border. But Akal's website says differently. Now, I believe that they have changed this since then. But at the time of this writing, they actually still had a graphic or text, that a little box that popped up that talked about how they work for ICE in Texas and California. So now, evidently, they only have a contract with ICE in Florida. Now, I'm still waiting from Gurmustik for the statement that supposedly Akal put out regarding this guarding of immigrants and their children. I've never received it from Gurmustik. He's never replied to my request for that. You can see this is the, right here, is the pop-up that was on Akal's website just a few days ago. And Department of Homeland Security, Immigration Customs Enforcement in El Centro, California, Florence, Arizona, El Paso, Texas, and Miami, Florida. And it says there, a principal mission of the new Department of Homeland Security, effective enforcement of immigration laws. Akal provides 700 officers to staff and secure the facilities. DHS officials consistently report that Akal's effective recruiting, training, supervision, and management programs made a positive difference, etc. Anyway, this shows that they've been working with Homeland Security and this ICE for many, many years. There's a contract also in this slideshow that shows how they've been working for ICE since 2004. So that's like 15 years. And that's Gurmustik's statement there, or comment. Now, in my mind, the fact that Akal Security is working with ICE in Florida now doesn't change the fact that Akal Security is profiting from the misery of others, because it is clear that Akal had been assisting ICE along the Mexico border for many years and is still guarding immigrant families and assisting ICE in Florida. And then they also work with this CSI, which is in the business of deporting families back to their countries. And they fly out of Tucson, Arizona, evidently. So Akal is involved in that as well, as I mentioned before. Now, as I said, Akal's website states under Homeland Security Customer Story, Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security, their website did state this a few days ago until they changed it. Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Central California, Florence, Arizona, El Paso, Texas, and Miami, Florida. And I'll put a link to that as well. You can see what the website says now. Now, it is the height of hypocrisy that while Yogi Bhajan, SikhNet, 3HO, and Sikh Dharma International receive millions of dollars in grants from Akal Security, who for many years have profited off the misery of immigrants and their families, this misery that they endure at the hands of U.S. government immigration policy. Sikh Dharma's Secretary General published this letter on June 20th, 2018, condemning the U.S. government for causing pain and suffering to immigrants and their children. There's a comment section at the bottom of the link, and I'd like you to comment. I'll put the link down here in the description of the video about this hypocrisy that is going on there at the Sikh Dharma, this Yogi Bhajan Sikh Dharma. And I'd like you to comment there and let me know if your comments are deleted or if they reply. Now, I wanted to let you know about a former member of the 3HO and Sikh Dharma organization who commented recently at the Wacko World of Yogi Bhajan forum. This person said, "The most hypocritical thing about this whole thing with the way that Akal is assisting in the deportation and detention of immigrants, and how Sikh Dharma is involved in this and receiving money from Akal and then working hand in glove with them." He says, in my opinion, is not the connection with Akal Security handling deportation, portion of the deportation proceedings, but how members of the Sikh Dharma International sent their own small children, he says, to the Lord of the Flies barbaric boarding schools in India to be spiritually, physically, sexually, and psychologically abused, all under the loving guidance orders of Yogi Bhajan, who insisted that, he says, distance therapy was the best way to raise strong, non-neurotic children uncontaminated by the moral decay in America. Parents that didn't want to go along with this were shamed and shunned. Children that cried and sobbed at being separated from their parents were coldly ignored, if not outright shamed, for having wrong feelings. So while the Secretary General of Sikh Dharma, Yogi Bhajan Sikh Dharma, is condemning the separation of children from their parents, this practice of separating children from their parents and sending them to India, it still goes on. And by the way, my name is Gursant Singh. For all of you who don't know, I was in the Yogi Bhajan group for 30 years. So I know that this happened, and it is still happening, where children are sent as young as 5 years old to India and separated from their parents. And you can read about this here at the Yogi Bhajan, this Wacko World of Yogi Bhajan. I'll put a link to that too here. Now, as I said, Akal Security subcontracts with this Albuquerque-based CSI Aviation, which is the subject of a protest that was held on June 22nd. And in the description of this video, it gives a description of this protest and how they're saying, march to deliver demands and hold a press release at CSI Aviation, which is in Albuquerque. Join us. We rally and march on June 22nd. They want to hold this Alan E. Way, a decorated colonel veteran, supporter of the Republican Party. Evidently, he used to be the chairman of the Republican Party. He's the owner of the CSI, and he want to hold him personally responsible. for these deportations, making millions off of the deportation of these immigrants. His family as a whole benefited of the backs of our relatives making millions off deportations, it says here in this protest flyer, which I will post here in the description to this video. Between 2006 and 2010, DHS, Department of Homeland Security, granted the CSI over $500 million in contracts for deportation flights and for deportation buses. And evidently now they've renewed this contract with CSI. That's something you can look up easily. They have on the government website, so the renewal of contracts. So evidently that's been renewed now. And again, Akal Security is working with CSI and guarding these immigrants when they're taken from ICE detention centers and then put on these flights. Now this is from the Santa Fe Reporter. This is the cover story, Khalsa versus Khalsa. This article is published in 2010. And it says in that article, obviously the Sikh Dharma Company isn't responsible for the more controversial policies of its biggest client, the federal government, but it has proved happy to carry them out. For instance, Akal guards illegal immigrants on government-chartered flights from Tucson, Arizona to Mexico City, working under the deportation contractor CSI Aviation Services of Albuquerque. CSI was founded by former New Mexico Republican Party Chairman Alan Way, W-E-H. This year, Akal gave way, and we're talking about this year of 2017. Actually, it would have been 2016. $2,000 for his failed gubernatorial campaign. So evidently this chairman of the New Mexico Republican Party, Chairman Alan Way, ran for New Mexico's governorship. And Akal Security gave his campaign $2,000. So Akal is involved heavily in politics. I know that because when I was in the Yogi Bhajan group, I knew the president there of Akal, this Daya Singh, and he's very involved in politics. They want to secure these contracts for Akal so that they can make billions and millions of dollars. And Akal has over 1 billion contracts with the U.S. government. It's not a small thing. Now I think that when Sikhs and yoga students wake up to the fact that SikhNet and 3HO are doing nothing but enlightening their bank accounts through the pain and suffering of others, they won't want to shell out more dollars to the endless donation campaigns of SikhNet and 3HO's infinite levels of teacher training classes and their Tantric Yoga Satnam Fest scams. So anybody who donates to SikhNet, stop donating to them. Write to SikhNet and say that you don't want Sikh organizations to be involved in this heartless deportation and detention of immigrants who are only coming here to the United States to seek asylum and to escape this misery there in Central America, where they're being attacked by gangs and terrorist organizations. For those people who are yoga students, stop taking these yoga classes. Stop taking these really expensive teacher training courses, and tell them until this stops, until this inhumane treatment of these immigrants stops and Akal stops supporting and assisting the U.S. government, you're just not going to take these yoga classes or donate to these organizations. Now, as I said, I was part of this Yogi Bhajan group for 30 years, and I wrote a book called Confessions of an American Sikh. You can purchase it at Amazon for 99 cents, I believe, as a Kindle version, or I can send you a free PDF copy. You can write me at my email address, which I'll put below. And it tells all about my experience with the Yogi Bhajan group, how these scams going on all the time there. And I'm ashamed to say it, but I was involved in them until I got out of it. Thank you very much for your time. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh.